Dear viewers, welcome to Basics of English classes. Today, I will give you some ideas on present perfect tense. What a present perfect tense? I've just I have tried to give you some ideas on what a present perfect tense is. Just I have divided this. First one is this tense connect present plus past. That means in this tense you will get two tenses. One is past, another is present. In another way, I can say that you will get two actions. One action that is started in the past and another action that is at present. That means an action in the past and the result in the present. So in the tense, an action started in the past and the result of that action is at present. What does it mean? That means if I tell you with an example, past simple is I lost my book. That means I lost my book yesterday, 3 days ago, last week, or any time before now. But we say in the present perfect tense, I have lost my book. That means I have lost my book, but it is lost and it is true for now. My book is still lost. That means I have lost my book. But if I say I lost my book in the past simple, that means that I lost my book maybe yesterday, maybe 3 days ago, maybe Monday. I lost my book on Monday. Maybe I found my book on Tuesday. Maybe I lost my book 3 days ago and I found my book 2 days ago. Same thing. So it can be told that in the past simple, the action started in the past, finished in the past, and not true for now. It is not true. Maybe my lost book has been found just now or yesterday. But in present perfect, the meaning is different. I have lost my book. That means it is still lost. I still can't find it. Okay, this is the basic difference between past simple and present perfect tense. Now, if we look at much wider sense, and if we use this tense in a sentence, we can say, I have worked. Here are the subjects: I, you, we, they. And he, she, it. These are the subjects. And helping verb is have or has in the present perfect tense. And after the helping verb, we need past participle form of a verb. Verb may be two kinds. One may be regular verb and another is irregular verb. What is a regular verb? Regular verb is the verbs that is formed in the past or past participle by adding D or ed after the verb. Just like work, worked, worked. I've just added here ed with the verb. These are regular verbs. Understand? Regular verbs are the verbs that are formed past or past participle by adding D or ed after the verb or suffix D or ed. But irregular verbs are the verbs which do not take any D or ed after the verb. It may be anything else. It may be anything else than D or ed after the verb. So here, if I tell it in a sentence, the present perfect tense, I have worked, you have worked, we have worked, they have worked, he has done, she has done, it has done. These are the formation of sentences in present perfect tense. So how can we use it? We can use, or we can form present perfect tense. First subject, then helping verb has or have. Have is for plural and for I. Has is for singular subjects. After helping verb has or have, we use verb in the past participle form. Okay, then it is called what? It is called present perfect tense. Now let's look further of it. Here, when to use? When we use this present perfect tense, we use this present perfect tense in three situations, and more if we see, then we can say that this is something that is different from other tenses. We use it in past true. What is past true? Past true means an action that was true in the past, and the action happened. If I tell you in an example, I have seen that movie, it means my seeing the movie is over. If somebody asks you, would you like to see that movie? Your answer would be, I have seen that movie. That means you have already seen it. That is, your seeing the movie is completed. In the second sentence, if I say I have found my keys, that is, it is true that you have found your keys. No need to find it anymore. No need to try to find it at present. That is, your finding of the keys is over. The keys is at your hand now, or in your possession now. Okay. Past finish. What are the actions that have past finished actions? If I say I have finished my homework, that is, my action has finished. Finished action. My homework has been completed. no need to do it at present because my homework has been finished. That is finished past. I have cooked dinner. That is no need to cook now. Why? Because it has already been cooked. Cooking is over. No need to cook it. That is, it has finished action. That is, the work, the action is finished. What are the things that may be unfinished? Yes, there are some actions which have unfinished action. What are they? If I say I have worked here for 5 years, this is present perfect tense and the action is not finished. Very interesting. I have worked here for 5 years. What does it mean? It means my working here started earlier and my working here continued for 5 years. And I have worked here for 5 years means my job is not finished. My working here is not finished. I am still working here. I still work here. I am here also at present. I still work here. That is, I have worked here for 5 years. My working here started 5 years earlier and at present I work here. That is the thing that is translated in English. I have worked here for 5 years. Another sentence. I have lived here since 2012. My living here is true for present. At present. My living here is true. That means I still live here. I still here. I still live here. Though my living here started in 2012, I still live here. That is past and finished. Another situation that we use in the present perfect tense. I have just eaten lunch. That is recent past, not remote past. The action that has effect on the recent past. What is it? I have just eaten lunch. That is not a long time ago. It's a very short time ago. My lunch has been taken. Yes, I have just eaten lunch. If somebody asks you, would you like to have lunch? No. I've just eaten lunch. That is, your action has just finished. That is, the result is yet persistent. The result is yet true. Next sentence. I have just sent the email. Your email has been sent not a long time ago, but just a few moments ago, a little time ago. Your email has been sent. Okay. So, present perfect tense can be used for recent past. Another situation. Past repetitive. In a sentence, if I say, I have shopped here for many years, it means that my shopping here is true for now also, and before this time I also shopped here. That means I shopped here for many years. For long years I have shopped, and at present I shop here. So anything that has repeated action or past repetitive action, we can use present perfect tense. So here, if I give you in something in detail, we can say we can just remember. We just want to remember it, and it means that it is for past true present perfect tense can be used, for past finished actions, for past unfinished action, and recent past and past repetitive. Now, what is the next item? Common expression. Sometimes this tense can be used in some expressions, and which are the expressions? Here are listed the expressions that we use in the action in the present perfect tense. Finished action. What is that? If I say I have already read that book, that means that my reading the book is over. My reading that book has been finished. For this kind of action, we use present perfect tense. I have already read that book. Our team has just won the game. That is, our team just won the game. Our winning the game is over, and we have just won it. Okay. Action not finished. Sometimes we use present perfect tense to mean something that has not finished yet. What are they? There, she has worked here for 3 months. That is, earlier I told you that for 3 months. That means my working here started 3 months ago, and at present it is true. That means I still work here. That is, my action is not finished. The flight has not arrived yet. That means it has not been arrived. The flight has not arrived yet. It is still, we are still waiting. That is still to come. The flight is still to come. Have you ever been to Italy? Something that happened in one's life but has not ended yet. My or your visiting Italy has not started. Until now, it is not finished. That means you have not gone Italy yet. That's why the question is, have you ever been to Italy? Probably yes, I have been to Italy. Or no, I have not been to Italy. So it depends on the situation. The question is, have you ever been to Italy? It would be present perfect tense. Ever, never. All these words that we use in the present perfect tense. He has never eaten sushi. He has never eaten sushi. That is, in his long time, in his lifetime, he has not eaten sushi. I told you that present perfect tense can start action in the past. This action can start in his earlier life, maybe in childhood. Throughout his whole life, this past may extend. So the question is, he has never eaten sushi. That means in his lifetime he has never eaten sushi. At present it is true, that is, his eating sushi has not been started yet. Okay, next, how long have you known each other? How long is a question. How long is a WH word that we use to make an interrogative sentence in the present perfect tense. How long? For how many years? For how many months? For how many days have you known each other? That is, how long this phrase can be used to mean situations like this. So here we use for. I told you that I have worked here for 3 months, and we can use this sentence in the same way. I have worked here since January. So I have used here two words, for or since. For will be used when we use period of time after for. What is the period of time? Total time is a period of time. That is 3 days is a period of time. But since, past in time, that is starting time, origin time, time in the origin. What does it mean? If I say since Monday, it is past in time. Since Monday, past in time. Original time, the time that is started. But for 3 days, that is total time, the period of time, duration of time. So what have we learned here? We learned after for we use total time, total days, total months, total years. And after since we use starting time, the time that is started, January, since January, not for not since January, not cannot give since for 3 years, since 3 months, it is wrong. Since February, it is correct. Since 4 days, wrong. Since Friday, it's correct. For 3 days, for 4 days, correct. For 4 days. For Tuesday, wrong. Understand? I think you have probably understood it. Now, when not to use, when should we not use present perfect tense, and when should we use it? Two things I have divided. On the left side, I've shown you unfinished time, and the right side, finished time. Unfinished time, no time expression. Present perfect is a tense that is used to mean some action for an unfinished time or no time expression. And in the right hand side, see here, finished time expression. There would be expression, finished time expression. What is the finished time expression? The time that is finished. I'll give you some explanation for it. This unfinished time and finished time. For example, I have spoken to him 3 times this week. I've spoken to him 3 times this week. This week. Unfinished time. How can it be unfinished? It is unfinished because this week has not been finished yet. I think you have got the point. This week has not been finished. So, if this week had been finished, I would have said last week or the previous week. But this week has not finished. That's why I have used here this week. That is unfinished time. But look at the right side. I spoke to him 3 times last week. That is right. Last week, that is the week is over. That is the last week. It is not the week is not going on. The week was finished earlier. That's last week. So this week, today, the day is not over today. If I say I've called you, I've phoned you today, that means my day is not over. So you can say this in present perfect tense. But if something happened in a finished time, you can't use in the present perfect tense. You must use it in the past simple. That is, I spoke to him 3 times last week. Here, note the word last week. I spoke to him last month. I spoke to him last year. That's correct. This would be past simple. But in the left hand side, these would be present perfect because the time is not finished. This week, the week is not finished. Today, the day is not finished. This month, the month is not finished. This year, the year is not finished. But in the past simple, last week is finished. Last month is finished. Last year, the year is finished. So in the last time, week, day, month, or year, we must use in the past simple tense. But we can't use this last week or last month in the present perfect tense. We must use this in the present perfect tense when we use this week, this day, today, this month, then present perfect tense, and last month past simple, this year present perfect, last year past simple. So okay, I think you have understood it. Now let's look at the second situation. Have you ever visited Spain? Have you ever visited Spain? If I question you, if I make a question, it would be, have you ever visited Spain? That is it is in the present perfect tense. Whether you're visiting Spain happened until now. It is not finished yet. I'm asking you whether it is still true that you're visiting Spain happened. No or yes. But in past simple, we cannot use or we cannot ask question like this. We must use here when. When is a word, WH word, that we use to make a question of past simple tense. And how long or have we ever are the phrases that is used to make questions of present perfect tense. I think you have got the point. I repeat it. If we want to make a question of past simple tense, we must use when to mean the time, and have we ever or how long to mean the time for present perfect tense. And the second sentence is, how long have you known John? How long is a phrase that we use to make present perfect tense in an interrogative sentence. But when is a word or WH word that we use to make past simple question. Now come to the next item, how to use it. How we use these tense. Here I've given you the subjects I, you, we, they, and he, she, it. In the positive sentence, I mean in the affirmative sentences, we will use just like this. How? First have or has, and then V3 or verb in the past participle form. I have worked. Positive sentence. You have worked. We have worked. They have worked. And in another subjects, he, she, singular, third person. He has worked. She has worked. It has worked. So what does it mean? Now, what is the difference we have got here? In the sentences, when the subjects are I, you, we, they, we use the helping verb have. And when the subject is third person singular, that is he, she, it, we use has. And after has or have, we use verb in the past participle form or third form. Now, how we can make it negative sentences? I haven't, or I have not worked. Just we add not with have. Just we have added not with have or has. I haven't worked. You haven't worked. We haven't worked. They haven't worked. In the third person singular, he hasn't worked. She hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. Now, how to make it a question sentence or interrogative sentence? Have I worked? First the helping verb, has or have, then subject, then verb in the past participle form. Have I worked? Have you worked? Have we worked? Have they worked? In the third person singular, has he worked? Has she worked? Has it worked? So these are the ways that we can form positive sentences, negative sentences, and questions for present perfect tense. Now we come to the next item, contraction. What are the contractions? Contractions are the words that we contract the verbs with the next word. So let's look at it. I have. If we contract this I have, it becomes have. I repeat, have. I have. You have, you've. We have, we've. They have, they've. He has, his. She has, she's. It has, its. I repeat, I have. You have, you've. We have, we've. They have, they've. He has, his. She has, she's. It has, its. Now, if we make it negative contractions, what does it become? It becomes, if I say I have, the negative would be I haven't. I have, I haven't. You have, you haven't. We have, we haven't. They have, they haven't. He has, he hasn't. She has, She hasn't. It has. Has. It hasn't. So these are the contractions of verb with not. Okay. Now let's come to the next thing. Then the contraction. After contraction we see short answers. How can we make short answers of present perfect tense? Short answers. If somebody asks you, have you visited New York? Then your answer would be, short answer would be, yes, I have. If you have already visited, then you will say, yes, I have. Not, do not answer like this, yes, I have visited New York. No, this is not the way to answer. Your answer would be, yes, I have. If you want to say it negative, that means you have not visited New York, then you will say, no, I haven't. Okay, so I repeat, have you visited New York? Yes, I have. Have you visited New York? No, I haven't. Next sentence. Has she had dinner? Yes, she has. So we notice here that the helping verb comes after the subject to make answer. After yes or no. If it is yes, it only becomes after subject has or have. If it is negative, then after subject has or have and not. It's a contraction form. It must be contraction form. The contraction form would be used when it is a negative answer. So has she had dinner? Has she had dinner? Yes, she has. Has she had dinner? No, she hasn't. Look at here. You will say no, she hasn't. You can't say no, she has not. It would be wrong in spoken English or writing form in short answers. Yes, she has. No, she hasn't. Okay. Next sentence. Have they left already? Answer is, here the answer is not given. Just try it with me. Have they left already? Yes, they have. No, they haven't. Has he bought a car? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. Have you understood this tense? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Okay, so these are the ways that people make the questions, contraction answers. Okay, next, come to the practice part. In the practice, uh, if I say in the positive sentence, he developed a new map. Here, the gap here before develop is a positive sentence or affirmative sentence. What would be the sentence in the positive form? He, yes, he has developed a new map. Okay. We be to London. We dash be to London. So what would be the sentence? The total sentence using the verb be. We have been to London. Have been. Here be is the base form of the verb. Be was been. Be was been. Been is past participle form. So we have been to London. Okay, these are the positive sentence. Now, negative. She give me an answer. It would be negative form. We are instructed to make it negative sentence. So what would be the sentence? She hasn't given me an answer. She hasn't given, that means has not given. She hasn't given me an answer. They dash sign the contract. It would be negative sentence. So how to make it? They haven't signed the contract. I repeat, they haven't signed the contract. Question. How to make it a question sentence? That is interrogative sentence. They make a decision. Dash, they make a decision. So first the helping verb would come before the subject. What is the helping verb? Has or have. With they, the helping verb comes have. So have would be used before they. Have they made a decision? I repeat, have they made? Why made? Because it is past participle form. Have they made a decision? Next sentence. Dash, he take his medicine. So it would be in a question sentence or interrogative sentence. Has he taken his medicine? Has he taken his medicine? Now the next sentence. You do your homework. So here is you with the you subject. The helping verb is have. Have you done your homework? Have you done your homework? Okay, this is the last sentence. Now, so up till now, these are our practices, and I think that all of you have understood it correctly. But before this, I like to repeat it. Present perfect tense connects past with the present. Action in the past result in the present. Okay, past simple. In past simple, I say I lost my book. That is, I lost my book. Maybe I found it the next day. So my book is lost now is not correct. Maybe I found my book. So this is past simple. It is correct. I lost my book. But we cannot express this thing in present perfect tense. If I use it present perfect tense, that is my book is still lost, then we use present perfect tense, otherwise not. If it is past simple, it happened earlier, last night, previous day, yesterday, or last year, last month, last week. That's correct for past simple. But we cannot use this last week, yesterday, when we use the tense present perfect. So what is the time? The time would be I've lost my book today. I've lost my book last week. I've lost my book last year. Okay, today, last week, last month. These are present perfect. But if I say 3 days ago, it would be past simple. Then it will not remain present perfect. If I say I lost my book 3 days ago, it is correct. But I can't say I have lost my book 3 days ago. It would be wrong sentence. I have lost my book 3 days ago is a wrong sentence, because the time here is finished time, 3 days ago, and you can't use it in the present perfect tense. Present perfect tense is a tense, the time would be unfinished time or no time. If you do not mention any time, that is correct. Or if you like to mention any time, then mention the time that is still continuing, the time that is still at present, the time continuous. That is today, last week, today, today is correct, and this week you can say, this month I have lost my book this month. I have found my book this week. Okay, so it is correct. That is, the action is yet true. The result is yet true. The result is yet continuing. I mean, yet it is present. The result is yet correct or true. That is present perfect tense. Okay, I've tried to make you understand this present perfect tense. Even though if you can't understood it, if you can't understand it, please write to me in the comment box. I'll try my best to give you answer. And in the next class, I'll talk about present perfect continuous tense or present perfect progressive tense. Okay, so until then,